Okay, so we have a sequence. A of 1 is 1, A of 2 is 2. After the second term, each term can be obtained by subtracting from the previous term the term before that. Not really great wording there, but to formalize that, I mean, A of n is you take the previous one and then subtract the term before that. That's like the rule for the sequence if we want to formalize that. So like, for example, the third term is, the previous one minus the one before that. So A of 3 is 2 minus 1, 1. Okay. And then, just figure out the cycle here. A lot of these have to do with patterns and cycles, these sequence ones. So this term is 1 minus 2, negative 1. The next one will be negative 1 minus 1, negative 2. Next one will be negative 2 minus negative 1, so plus 1, so negative 1. We have 7 will be negative 1 minus negative 2, so plus 2 is positive 1. Oh, I see what's going on here. Next one will be 1 minus negative 1, which is going to be 2. Then 2 minus 1 is going to be 1. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. I mean, we see the cycle at this point. So how many different possible values for the sum of the first n terms? Okay. So once we get a cycle, it looks like the cycle's repeating. It starts over here, like kind of where, actually, I guess it starts over after the sixth term. So I'm not going to get any more new sum, unless the sum is a non-zero term, but let's just see. So the sum through A of 1 is 1. Let me organize this. It doesn't matter what we do here. So the sum through A of 1 is 1. Sum through A of 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. Sum through A of 3 is add another 1 to that, so 4. This plus negative 1, so 3. Plus negative 2, so 1. And then plus negative 1, so 0. And then actually A of 7 is just the top of the next cycle, so I wouldn't, it's just the start of the fresh cycle. So because of the fact that once I get to A of 6, I've got a sum of 0, that means there aren't any new sums to be found in taking the cycle on further repetitions. So because I start back at 0, so then the sum through A of 7 is just going to be 1. Sum through A of 8 is going to be 3. Something, as the cycle repeats. So we look at how many different sums I can get. I can get a 1, I can get a 3, I get 4, and I can get a 0. Don't count these because I already got a sum of 3. This is how many different possible values for the sum are. So I don't count this again. I don't count a sum of 1 again, but a sum of 0 is also something new. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different sums. Business school time.